Good day, everyone. This is Jack from the Stock Serpent Watchdog. And right now, we're going to look at the FANG stocks. That is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. All right, let's start off with FANG, with the F in FANG. And let's see what Facebook did yesterday. Facebook down 5.7%. That is a massive fall. We're going to do a quick rundown of our Ichimoku Kinkoheo checklist. We're not going to go through the whole 10 points because we have a couple of charts to do. We're just going to do the most important parts of the checklist. All right, starting off with point number one is price above the Kumo cloud? Well, it clearly isn't. Price broke down below the Kumo cloud over here. That was in late July, and this was already an exit sign for me right here. So why anyone would still be invested here, I don't know. My process does not allow that. I only trade long, or I only buy above the cloud. This is all resistance, so I do not want to be under this cloud. So on the first point there, that would be very, very negative. Let's use our number system. All right, so clearly it broke down here, and that is a very, very big negative. Then on the second point, what does the Kumo shadow look like? Well, the Kumo shadow is not even in view here because it already broke down below the Kumo shadow. The Kumo shadow came in here. That's not even important right now. It is definitely bearish. Let's look at the Chical span. The Chical span is down here, and it is definitely in the open. That means it's an open space and that it can continue to fall. When the Chical span broke through the cloud, and it broke through here, which is actually the equivalent of this breakdown here, because it is plotted 26 days behind price. So you have to count 26 of these candles, and that comes to about this point right here. So this is the breakdown point that pushed the Chical span out of the cloud and into the open space. Now, it has not looked back from that point. It has continued to avoid price. Price means consolidation. It has stayed clear of price, and right now it is an open space and it is falling. So I would stay clear of Facebook right here, value or not. It doesn't matter. I follow my process, and my process says stay out of Facebook at this point. All right, let's move on to our next stock. Our next stock is Apple. And Apple has had a bit of a breakdown here. All right, Apple's breakdown happened right here. Apple's breakdown happened right here following our checklist, our first item. Our first item is price trading above the cloud? Here is the cloud. Price is clearly broken down. It has broken down as of late. Yeah, it is November. It started trading below the cloud the start of November. So that is clearly negative. I would also be staying clear of this, just following that first item on my checklist. This is, in fact, very bearish. Look at this uptrend. It was a massive move up, and when it broke through the cloud, it consolidated for a little bit. Look at that. It went back to the top edge, came back down, and it couldn't break through the Tenkan-sen and the bottom of the Senkou Span B, this resistance line here. And when it finally broke down, the Chical span also broke down, and that means that we have dropped even further because now there's momentum to the downside. The Chical span is our momentum indicator, and it is an open space as well. That means that there can be further declines in Apple ahead. Stay clear of the stock. It is the second FANG that I would not be touching with a 10-foot pole at this point. Moving on to the second A in the FANG stocks, which is Amazon. And Amazon has broken down a long time ago. Oh, that's like the beginning of no, beginning of October. Pardon me. So that's October. It broke down, and it broke down over here. Look at that. And it also consolidated in the same way that Apple did. It consolidates for a couple of days, and then it kind of just waits. It waits, it consolidates, and then it breaks through the cloud. Now, this is 26 periods away, so it should be about here. This is this breakdown over here. So on this breakdown, that would be where you sell it, because the momentum tells you to sell it, and you could have traded it down all the way to 1476. So very, very negative. This is where it breaks out of the cloud. And again, I would not be touching this. Currently, it is trading below the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen. It is under the cloud. It is negative, and I would not be touching this at all, following my process. Now on to Netflix. Now Netflix has a much choppier chart, a lot more volatility here in Netflix. Netflix already broke down in July. It broke through the cloud. Now, it did recover somewhat, and it did close a couple of days above the cloud, but it couldn't hold that. Now, the reason it couldn't hold that is because it was going up against this Senko Span B, which is the slowest moving indicator in the Ichimoku Kinko system. Now that means that resistance area is so strong that it pulled price back below it. Now you do not want to make a secondary attempt at a high going through the Senko Span B here. This is a firm resistance area, and it definitely could not hold that. Even though it was trading above the short-term midpoint moving average, it just could not hold above. This resistance area was just too strong. All right, so here it broke through the cloud. I would still not be touching it. We are still trading below it. We are trading below the Tenkan-sen. We are trading below the Kijun-sen. And look at the Chikou Span. The Chikou Span is an open space. We are definitely going lower in Netflix as well. Even if it moves up, it's going to find resistance at the Tenkan-sen. It's going to find resistance at the Kijun-sen. So there are going to be no spectacular moves in Netflix in the near future, at least. All right, and we're getting close to the last stock here. And the last stock on our list of FANGs is Google. And the holding company for that is Alphabet. Now, once we look at this, this is one of the big daddies on the NASDAQ. It is definitely dragging it down a lot, same as with Apple, same as with Amazon. Those are some massive market cap stocks that is dragging that whole NASDAQ index and ETF down. The QQQs, that's the ETF for the NASDAQ 100. That is dragging it down a lot today, over 3% today. This stock down almost 4%, same as Apple, same as the others. Now, let's have a look and follow our system here. The system says, check where price is trading relative to the cloud. Here is the Kumo cloud. Now, all of these charts look roughly the same. The only difference is that some of them broke down a little bit earlier than others. Netflix broke down in late July. All the others broke down at roughly September, October. One of them even broke down in November. So that was Apple. Apple broke down in November. So now all of these FANGs are trading below the cloud, and that is definitely a warning signal. You need to be staying out of these FANGs. They are not buying the dips right here. They are definitely not buying the dip opportunities. Look at the Chikou Span. The Chikou Span has broken through and it is trending down. It hasn't interacted with price at all. That means it is an open space. The closest it's going to get to price is a good 2 weeks away. So if we move sideways here, we're going to start interacting with price, and then we can expect some consolidation. All right, but right here, the price action is telling me we are below the Tenkan-sen. I do not want to be buying here. We are below the Kijun-sen. I do not want to be buying here. Now I want to be buying any of the FANG stocks. For that case, any stock. I don't want to be buying it below the cloud. I want to buy it above the cloud, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is resistance. I don't want to go through this resistance while in the stock. I want to watch the price go through the cloud while being completely out of it, because this is all turbulence. This is all volatility. Just like an airplane going through a cloud, that is not a very nice experience if you've ever flown. And this is the same thing. Why do you want to be in a stock that is going through turbulence or volatility like this? Wait until it is above the cloud. Then it's clear. Then it's free. Then it can go much higher. But right here, stay out of it. I would not be suggesting that anyone get into any of these FANG stocks. They are red all over. They are all trading below their daily Ichimoku clouds. And with that, I would love for everyone to subscribe to my channel. I am Jack from the Stock Serpent Watchdog. The channel was created to protect the small investor. I want to keep everyone up to date technically on the hottest stocks being traded and talked about. Please hit that notification bell, and there's a bunch of other videos that you can watch as well. Everyone, good trading and good day.